In week 1, we have discussed and defined what is climate change. Climate change, global climate.
Are they audible to others?
No,
Komal,
ma'am.
this
No,
is
ma'am.
not
They're not
audible.
audible.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Negative.
Please check your volume. You are not audible to us.
Ma'am, we'll just check.
Maybe if they can reshare their screen with the option of sharing audio.
Savitha ma'am, a lot of disturbance is there at your end. Please check once. Can you stop screen sharing and try once again?
Hello, ma'am. Is it audible?
Yeah, now it is audible.
Oh. May I start with my presentation?
Yeah, please start, beta.
In week 1, we have discussed and defined what is climate change. Global climate variation on Earth due to natural causes and also to the action of man, evidenced by the increase in average temperatures and erratic rainfall. In week 2, we have discussed about climate change locally. We have found that locally Madurai has fallen in risk. Some of the types of local effects are direct effects, indirect effects, and socio-economics. Direct effects and indirect effects consist of physiological changes, phenotypic changes, morphological changes, irrigation availability, flood, drought, and socio-economic consist of food demand, unequal distribution, policy, and trade. Some of the causes and effects of climate change globally. Rapid industrialization, agricultural practices, deforestation, rising temperatures and sea levels, unpredictable weather patterns, increase in extreme weather events. In week 3, we have discussed and found how we can reduce climate change and impacts of climate change. Some of the impacts of climate change: freshwater shortage, extreme weather events, droughts, diseases related to temperature and water pollution, food shortage. 5. Action to fight climate change. Reduce emission, save energy, put the 3 R's of sustainability into practice, eat low carbon, act against forest loss. In week 4, we have discussed about solutions and we have implemented few ideas in our school campus. Simple things you can do about climate change: plant a tree, cut food waste, save water, turn off some lights, walk or use bicycles. We have planted few plants in our school campus. Reuse the plastic material. We can grow plants in used plastic bottles and in used old shoes. It's a new way. We have demonstrated few ideas in our school campus. Eco-bricks. Eco-bricks is a reusable building block created by solid biodegradable waste placed into a plastic bottle to set a density. This movement actually fosters a more positive attitude towards plastic pollution. We had awareness program based on 5 R's principle. Reduce, recycle, reuse, recover, and refuse. Craft and waste. Our students done craft and waste. Here are the pictures. And we are glad enough that our Tamil Nadu government has taken Few steps. Eradication of low-density plastic. The Tamil Nadu government banned 14 types of one-time use and throwaway plastic items on January 1, 2019. What does banned plastic mean? Bags made up of plastic with or without handles. Articles made up of thermocol plastic for single use only. Use of thermocol and plastic for decoration is completely banned. Eco-friendly alternatives. Descriptive of eco-friendly alternatives: plantain leaves, aluminum foil, and media. Eradication of Prosopis juliflora is another step taken by state government. It is a major invasive species native to Mexico and South America. It was used to arrest wind erosion and stabilize sand dunes on coastal and desert area. It is the main source of charcoal, but now its invasion reduced the cover of native medicinal herbaceous species. So our next step is to highlight and convey some local issues like pollution, growth of invasive species, and plastic disposals to the Department of Environment, Climate Change and Forest. Thank you. Here comes Supraja to tell about the local effects of Madurai. Over to Supraja.
Thank you, Rithik. Thank you, Rithiyga. Good evening, all. I'm Supraja from grade 11, and I'm here to explain the local effects of climate change. A study based on data available with the Indian Meteorological Department on Madurai over a period of 62 years indicates rising trend in atmospheric temperature over Madurai city, attributed urbanization, growth of vehicles, and industrial activities. The maximum temperature of 42 degrees Celsius for the decade of 2001 to 2010 was recorded in 2004 and in 2010. Environmentalists and weather experts point that the loss of green cover, pollution, and poor maintenance of water bodies are major reasons that have contributed to the climate change. Nowadays, Madurai is hot and dry for 8 months of the year. It causes heavy drought in Madurai. Temperature during summer reaches a maximum of about 42 degrees Celsius and a minimum of about 26.3 degrees Celsius. Heavy rain that lashed Madurai on 26th July. It caused waterlogging in several areas, leading to hardships to the local people. Scientists of the Indian Institute of Soil and Water Conservation said that number of rainy days and the intensity of rain is high in 2022. Because of stagnant water, people in Madurai experienced many health issues like malaria and dengue. Long-term stagnation of water affects the fertility of soil. Pedestrians had a tough time walking through the slushy and water-filled craters in local. Many shopkeepers complained of water entering into their shops as the rainwater drained slowly. Sometimes it took days to drain off the surfaces. Rainy seasons promote the formation of extensive water hyacinth mats. Eichhornia crassus, which is commonly known as water hyacinth, is an invasive weed native to South America. It was introduced as aquatic ornamental plant which grows faster throughout the year. Its widespread growth is a major cause of biodiversity loss worldwide. It also decreases the oxygen content of the water bodies, which leads to eutrophication. It poses a threat to human health because it creates a breeding habitat for disease-causing mosquitoes and snails with its free-floating dense root and semi-merged leaves. It also blocks sunlight entering deep and the water-ways, hampering agriculture, fisheries, recreation, and hydropower. Madurai Corporation have undertaken a massive cleaning drive along the riverbed. Water Resources Department said that as long as city sewage flows into the river, water hyacinth problem can't be resolved. A new study looks at how hotter than normal sea surface temperatures are fueling more frequent and devastating storms. The frequency and intensity of cyclones is increasing due to climate change. The outcome was the recent Mandus cyclone that caused heavy rainfall in Madurai districts of Tamil Nadu, including Chennai. In Chennai, flight services were affected on Thursday due to Cyclone Mandus. Several areas in Tamil Nadu saw waterlogged and squally winds uprooting trees in the state capital and nearby districts. Indian Meteorological Department has predicted that average rainfall in Madurai district will gradually come down. So, several climate action plans and special efforts are taken up by the state bodies to mitigate the climate change. With this, I wind up my presentation. Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank you, ma'am. That was from CSR school, ma'am. Over to the next school.
Una ma'am, who is the next? Una ma'am.
The next one is from Mexico, I guess.
Can we please have the next school?
From Mexico, Sanctorum, Puebla. Miss Lupita, are you here?
Just check in the people list if whether they are there or not. Hello, Ankita ma'am, Anukti ma'am. Sorry.
No, ma'am. I can't find their name here.
Okay, fine. So we'll go ahead with the next group
Next,
after. Yeah,
it's from Haryana.
yeah, ma'am.
Meenakshi,
Perfect.
Delhi.
Delhi. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening and good morning to some of you. So we are from Bluebells, Gurgaon, Delhi NCR. Thanks. We are today part of this CAPS team. So let's start. Komal ma'am, our students will start now. We have Yashasvi. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Yashasvi and Dishita, they'll take the lead. Start better.
Bluebells Public School is a co-educational English medium school located in Sector 10, Gurgaon. The foundation stone of the school was laid on 25 October 2000. It became fully operational on 10 April 2003. The school was upgraded to class 12 in 2010 to 11 with CBSE and currently has classes from nursery to class 12. Bluebells Public School is credited for leading the way towards the future generation of education. It is a temple of knowledge for the children with its unique and globally recognized team and SDG-based learning and school structure that is already NEP compliant to enhance 21st century skills. We equip our students with a global digital mindset, cross-cultural intelligence, and transdisciplinary skill set to drive innovation and success. We are confident that our students would drive sustainable growth in an era of rapid change and intense competition at international level.
Greetings for the day. My name is Dishita, and with me I have.
Yashasvi.
We are from the Bluebells Public School. Today, we are here to present a PPT on causes, solutions, and best practices for the climate problem of the world. We, the students at Bluebells Public School, Gurgaon, have got the prestigious opportunity to open new horizons for learning and self awareness along with Global Connect for a cause. We have been doing projects at national and international level and accomplishing them successfully. We express our gratitude to the CAP team for giving us an opportunity to plan, act, and raise the voice of concern for climate change. We are obliged to be a part of the session and learn how we, as students, be a voice at the global level.
So now let's discuss some major causes of climate change through a wishbone diagram summarized below. Human factors consist of rising population and alarming rates of carbon generation, while environmental factors consist of natural calamities and loss of biodiversity. Here are some strategies and best practices towards solutions adopted by our school. Strategy number one, Model United Nations, MUN on climate change, an intra-school event. It was a very effective platform for discussion on possible solutions of climate problems faced globally. Students delegates from different countries represented and spoke about the initiatives taken up and gave solutions for the climate change. Here are the glimpses of the same.
Strategy 2, Panel Discussion. Panel discussion on Paris Agreement and solutions for climate problem of the world. Discussion took place against the backdrop of the adoption of first universally legally binding agreement on climate change in Paris in December 2015. Panelists discussed the impact of the climate change on temperature of the earth, biodiversity and ice sheets, etc. In the end, various solutions were discussed that can be taken up by the schools, community and organizations to tackle the problem of the climate change.
Strategy number three, school marathon. Bluebell's Public School organized marathon on climate change. In the words of John Delaney, climate change is an environmental challenge of this generation and it is the imperative that we act before it's too late. Extreme unpredictable weather, higher temperatures and changing rainfall patterns are being experienced by populations globally regardless of whether it is recognized as climate change. To spread awareness about living in harmony with nature and conserving our precious resource, Bluebell's Public School organized a climate action festival. The students not only enthralled but also enunciate their understanding on population in surrounding areas on the grave issue of climate change through a thought-provoking street play and marathon. Here are the glimpses of the same.
Strategy 4, Initiative towards building a beautiful and sustainable environment. In our mission to build sustainable environment, we, Bluebellians, have collaborated with an NGO, Blue Planet Environment Solutions, under the initiative Blue Nudge, a unique platform that gives learners a nudge for becoming more responsible towards climate change. As a part of this drive, our students collected PET bottles, newspapers, old book scraps, other plastics given to the organization. This will prevent the waste or the scrap from going to the landfills, hence protecting the environment and preventing climate change. This will be an ongoing process.
Strategy number 5, Enlighten the world with inner spark. Bluebell's Public School contributes to community outreach. The empowered youth can be the key agents for development and peace. The more the commitment and participation of youth, higher are the hopes for a better society. We at Bluebell's Public School have always reached out to the society to bring positive social changes. Carrying forward the vision of the institution that believes in service before self, the students of Bluebell's Public School visited Udyan Ghar, an NGO located in Narsinghpur, Gurgaon. The children from the age group of 6 to 13 years are rehabilitated there. Our students gifted solar lamps to the less privileged children. These solar lamps were designed and created in-house by our students in the school in 8-year lab. Here are the glimpses of the same.
Strategy 6, Poster making on climate action. Awareness through e-posters or paper posters to create awareness about ways to overcome climate change. Students designed and presented informative posters in the school assemblies and exhibited in the school premises on the topic climate change to sensitize peer groups. Here are some glimpses of the posters.
Strategy number 7, our futuristic approach. Awareness through hands-on activity. Each one plant one was conducted under the guidance of students of CAP, Climate Action Project team of our school, as part of peer learning. The objective was to create awareness about significance of planting more plants as one of the ways to overcome climate change. Here are the glimpses of the same.
Strategy 8. A project was prepared by the students of Bluebells Public School where an idea of a self-reliant village was shared. The objective was to create awareness about significance of using alternative sources of energy like cooling energy chamber, wind, solar, hydro, biogas, etc. to be used as energy resources without having much impact on the environment. Here are some glimpses of the self-reliant village.
Now let's discuss some preventive measures adopted by our school to reduce waste. Recycle and buy recycled products. Choose products that have less packaging. Reuse, repair or donate. Don't buy it unless you really need it. Carry cloth bags when shopping. Use a refillable travel mug or water bottle. Give your time instead of material gifts or donate to a charity in the recipient's name. What other ways can you cut down on waste? So with this, we come to an end of today's presentation with the note that there is no plan B because we do not have a planet B. Here is a glimpse of the display board showcased to provoke awareness about climate change in our school.
We now have a cultural display by Anushna Sharma, a student of Bluebells Public School, to elaborate about the climate action plan.
It's a beautiful dance presentation by one of our students. We can start, Komal ma'am.
Ma'am, is it visible?
It's visible. Just check the sound.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll give you a thumbs up when the sound comes.
Yes, ma'am.
Sound is not coming, Komal.
Now is it better, ma'am?
Yeah.
Some call me nature. Others call me Mother Nature.
Is it visible, ma'am?
I've been here for over
Visible, Komal.
half billion years. 22,500 times longer than you. Yes, your future depends on me. When I thrive, you thrive. When I falter, you falter. Or worse. Your actions will determine your fate, not mine. I am nature.
Man has lost the capacity to foresee and forestall. Seems he'll end up polluting, exploiting, and destroying.
easily understood. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed.
Earth is the only known planet having life in this universe. We should respect and maintain everything we get from our Mother Earth.
Here we end our presentation. Thank you, Komal ma'am. Thank you, both the kiddos. Can we
Ma'am,
move on?
we also have one quiz if we want to get that played now or.
That Microsoft form we'll put in the chat box. Anukti ma'am, if you allow us, we'll put in the chat box and later on everyone can do. Poonam ma'am. And of course, we'll get the responses and then we'll share in the group itself the data related to climate change. Anukti ma'am, Poonam ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Surely we'll do that.
So we'll put the link in the chat box. So everyone, each one of you, we request each one of you to fill up that Microsoft form. Few questions are there and all related to climate action.
Okay, ma'am.
Maybe to sensitize everyone for climate
Yeah.
change. So please do the.
Okay, so you want everyone, all the audience to be filling that
It
form?
can be done later on also. It's open.
Later on. Perfect.
Later on,
No
not
problem.
right now because we are short of
And
time. We'll move
yeah,
on.
you can paste it in the main link also then.
Yeah, it's there. Komal has already put.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And Lupita ma'am is about to join because
Yeah.
her students come at 8 a.m. I wrote on the group itself. So she would be there shortly. So the
Okay,
form
fine.
is there. Each one of you, please check and later
Yeah.
on fill it.
Okay.
Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
Sure. Yeah, welcome.
Can we move on?
Poonam,
Next is South America from Ecuador. If Ms.Glenda, are you there? Ms.Glenda.
good morning. Sorry for you. Good afternoon. How you doing? I am going to present my student, Juan Sebastian, and he's going to do the introductions for our work. Please.
Okay. Good morning. I hope you are doing good. We are from Ecuador, Guayaquil. We are the school Unidad Educativa Javier. And today we want to present our project called SDG 12. First, what is SDG 12? And first, SDG 12 stands for Responsible Consumption and Production. Something very important about this project is the goal, since has targets to be achieved by 2030. Something about the SDG 12 is the objective, since the SDG wants to give a new use to things that we already use, and also to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. But for this, my partners are going to give more details that I hope you are going to like this presentation.
Oh, thank you. Hello, as I've seen, here my companion has already introduced you to what SDG number 12 is, but I'm just going to give you a little more of an explanation. SDG number 12 envisions sustainable production and consumption based on advanced technology, capacity, resource efficiency, and reduce global waste.
Well, why it is important? It is important to reflect on how our daily actions are affecting the planet, and we can contribute to improving the environment condition. Here's the SDGs make their appearance. SDGs, or also known as Sustainable Development Goals, are one of the wheels that are we taking humanity to a better future. Here we will talk about a particular one, SDG number 12. SDG number 12 is a perfect example of an universal application goal. Why? Because it has so many different ways to practice, from reducing the plastics in our homes to participate in a worldwide campaign like we're doing.
It covers the correct and responsible management and use of natural resources and environment impacts. It, it is important because their overproduction and waste doesn't get recycled as it is produced. And finally, it calls a set for actions from actions from businesses and consumers to adapt to sustainable practices, such as using environmentally friendly products, recycling and reducing waste, and using sustainable packaging. Thank you.
Okay, and plastic and pollution in Ecuador. Here's a few things that we have to learn about plastic in Ecuador. First, Ecuador has produced a total of 48,473 thousand of plastic waste between 2018 and January 2022. Currently, 60% of the garbage in Ecuadorian uh, beaches are plastic and microplastic waste. In Galapagos Island, microplastic were found in 52,000 of marine invertebrates. The Puerto Limpio company, in charge of waste in Guayaquil City, recollect almost 4,000 tons of plastic every day. In Quito, capital of Ecuador, 1.7 million plastic bottles are thrown away every day.
This means that there has been an increase between 2018 and 2022 of plastic waste. Us as Ecuadorians, well, as people, we think that it's so easy to throw away in the beaches plastic because the ocean is going to take it away and it's never going to come back. But that is not true. We have to change that mindset.
Main consequence: the environment that is affected the most by the plastic waste are the oceans. By harming the seas and rivers by plastic, fish and other animals consume them, and consequence they intoxicate themselves and end up in their food.
Those same animals are the ones that reach our table and our food. This can affect our body, causing serious diseases. Also, since microplastics are in the air, the more we pollute, more plastic we inhale. This meaning that even if you don't eat fish, you can still get microplastics into your body by just breathing. Also, if we don't change our current habits, by 2050 the amount of plastic in the ocean is expected to outweigh the amount of fish in it.
Well, since we are talking a lot about plastic contamination in the oceans, we are glad to present you our little initiative for this project, the coconut husk, which can be put to a practical use. So now you will see a video of us making bracelets with the coconut husk, which was a very interesting experience.
Our coconut husk accessories. Well, it seems easier than it is. This experience was awesome. The truth, for me at least, was really difficult. Until this point, today, 13th of December, I haven't done a bracelet yet after 3 hours of work. I was so close, but it didn't work for me. The rope was too thin and it breaks, but it doesn't matter. The learning is what I got. This experience was something very helpful. It let us know that things that we think are no longer useful for the SDG and for this wonderful activity do work. Why? Well, our principal material, the coconut husk, have so many uses. For example, As you can see, you can make accessories such as rings, earrings, bracelets, etc. And also can be part of the learning process of kids of 3, 4, and 5 year olds, helping the motor skills to develop and be excellent. And at the same time, we're helping our home to be healthy and safe, just from little actions.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Actually, that was our presentation from our students sharing their experience with SDG 12 and how SDG 12 is also a way to help the planet with the recycling. Instead of using products, we try to avoid using those products. So that way, recycle is only an alternative. We believe that SDG 12 is going to help us solve a lot of the pollution problems that we have right now. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Ma'am, can we please move ahead?
Please move on, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So now I would request the students of SM Shetty International School from Maharashtra, Mumbai to please come forward and present their PPT.
A very good evening to everyone present here. I'm Hitali Jariwala from SM Shetty International School. So I'll be presenting a PPT first of all on the initiatives taken by our school for the Go Green project. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is Hitali.
Yes. So, firstly, this year for One Mahotsav, students of IBDP and A levels had conducted a One Mahotsav walk. So, the students were rallying with posters that were created to spread awareness on the importance of trees and on sustaining the planet. Amalgam. Amalgam was an film festival event on the topic climate and game. So, students of IBDP and A levels had participated on the film. This was Sai Paloza. It was an science exhibition project on the topic of disaster management. All of these projects were in order to raise awareness. These are some of the activities done by our checkpoint classes, that is grade 6. This is by grade 7. They have made charts and presentations on the causes and effects of climate action. These are some of the charts. They have given solutions and causes and effects of climate change. This was the presentations for the One Mahotsav. So now I would like to call Ananya to present her PPT.
Ananya, are you there? No, you are not audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible now.
Um, so, a warm welcome to one and all present here. I am Ananya Harish, and this is my project for the Climate Action Project 2022. So, what does the term climate change mean? Climate change is all about rising temperatures in recent decades due to our own imprudent, our own careless actions. Well, what do I mean by rising temperatures? Well, since the 1800s, this Earth has been slowly warming up, and this has wreaked devastation on habitats and ecosystems. So, why is this happening? Well, in short, it is all due to our release of the gas carbon dioxide, along with other greenhouse gases that trap heat from the sun and warm up the Earth. A small fact before we continue: we've only been industrial humans, that is, humans with factories, apartments, buildings, etc., for about 0.1% of our history. But our industrialism has made harsh and huge impacts on the earth. So let's represent carbon dioxide in a way that we understand. Well, think of CO2 as a blanket over the earth. A little bit of CO2 is very important for the earth to survive, for life to thrive, because the earth shouldn't get too cold. And CO2 has a very important job in that. Just like one or two blankets when you sleep play an important role of not letting the earth get too cold. But more of those and it starts to become suffocating. Our rapid and giant release of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases is too much for the earth, and thus climate change is caused, creating floods in one area but droughts in another. I would define climate change as the rapid change of temperature and environment, different effects in different areas caused due to the release of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide as a result of human actions. So, now that we've seen what exactly is climate change, let us understand what are the causes behind climate change. What exactly are we doing that is releasing so much carbon dioxide? Well, there are many, many causes, but I've narrowed it down to four main ones: generating electricity, transportation, food production, and deforestation. Generating electricity, there are solar and hydroelectric sources of energy, but more it's a sad fact that most of the world still uses fossil fuels like coal and oil to produce energy. Burning fossil fuels leads to the creation of carbon dioxide, which further propagates climate change. The next we have transportation. Cars, planes, ships, and buses actually burn fossil fuels in their engines to run and move. There are eco-friendly cars like electric vehicles and so on, but most of the Earth's vehicles actually use still burn fossil fuels, and this causes the production of carbon dioxide, and it is quite detrimental to the environment. Food production. Through using artificial fertilizers and pesticides on crops, not only does the quality of the land deteriorate, but it also causes climate change. The cows that are reared for consumption, other than that, is also producing a powerful greenhouse gas called methane, which accounts for a lot of global warming. We also have deforestation. Cutting down trees not only releases the stored carbon dioxide in the tree trunk, but since trees are nature's tool to use up the excess carbon dioxide, we're destroying that tool and depriving nature the ability to deal with our excess carbon dioxide. um, now that we've seen what causes climate change, let us know and learn what the effects of climate change are. Climate change is already having visible effects on the world. The earth is warming, rainfall patterns are changing, and sea levels are rising. Humans and wild animals face new challenges for survival because of climate change. Let me now take you to the different continents and let us see the effects of climate change in those countries. First, let's go to North America and see how much of an impact climate change has caused here. Forest fires and droughts are destroying North American forests. because of extended heat waves and prolonged and now that they're much more frequent and more severe. Other than that, pest invasions have become increasingly common and they're destroying farmers' crops. Deaths in hurricanes and extreme heat waves have increased dramatically because the severity of these hurricanes and extreme heat waves have increased dramatically. We shall now go to South America and see the effects of climate change in that continent. South America, the continent of the extremes, home to the world's largest river, the Amazon, as well as the world's driest place, the Atacama Desert, has been facing some terrible effects of climate change. It's facing both extreme drought and extreme flooding and rainfall in different areas. When I say flooding, that means around the coasts, rising sea levels are eroding away land, which is making people which is making people living around the coasts move towards the center of the island. Ocean heat waves are causing coral bleaching and the endangerment of sea turtles and other sea creatures. It's South America is surrounded by oceans with so much ocean biodiversity, but unfortunately, because of ocean heat waves and our actions, these beautiful sea creatures are slowly going extinct. Let us now go to Eurasia and see the effects of climate change in that continent. Eurasia is the largest continental area on Earth and it is comprising of all of Europe and Asia, and it is facing severe effects of climate change. Asia especially is facing the erosion of arable land, which means that the fertile land, the farmable land, is slowly being eroded away because of rising temperatures, because of rising sea levels, soil pollution, air pollution, etc. And this prevents farming. This poses a severe economical risk for the rural families whose livelihoods depend on raising livestock and farming. It also puts a risk on everyday's food and everyone's food and everyday needs. Rising heat has put endangered animals at severe risk. If we want to talk about both Europe and Asia, major and severe storms and floods have had devastating consequences on life in Europe and Asia. Heat waves and droughts have been seizing up all of Europe, causing water scarcity and helplessness among citizens. Entire lakes and rivers are drying up. Shall we now go to Africa, the land famous for its amazing wildlife and luscious forest, to see for ourselves how the climate change is impacting in that area? The number of floods in Africa has increased tenfold since 1970. Coastal houses are getting flooded more than ever before. This is a problem in almost all of the continents. Other than floods, droughts and storms are also becoming more dangerous and severe here than any other part of the world. Forest animals are losing their homes to deforestation, and grasslands and forests are under threat due to changes in rainfall patterns. Let us now visit Australia, the land of unique flora and fauna, to see how climate change has affected that beautiful land. Forest fires and bushfires are becoming longer, frequent, and more severe. They're destroying Australia's unique and special animals. Floods are ravaging coastal homes and are making people move towards the deserts. Coastal erosion is happening very quickly. Australian heat waves are becoming more common and more severe. The hot temperatures that belonged only to the Australian deserts have now been spreading to the coastal areas inhabited by civilians. Lastly, let us pay a visit to Antarctica, the southernmost continent and home to penguins, and see the effects of climate change here. Ice is melting due to rising temperatures and sea levels. This is causing floods in other areas. This melting ice is also causing ice shelves to dangerously collapse. The homes of penguins and other Antarctic creatures are melting and getting destroyed due to the rising temperatures. Now that we have seen the the effects of climate change, let us see what we can do by ourselves. It's easy enough telling the government that you need to do this, you need to do that, but the best thing that you can do is to put your foot forward and to take the steps that you need to take to battle climate change. The first step, the main step that you can take is to use solar or wind energy to power your house instead of fossil fuels. You can either have solar panels on your roof or you can funnel it from a nearby solar power station. Minimize the usage of private vehicles. Either use public vehicles or walk and cycle. Never throw away food. This is an important point as it ends up in a landfill and produces methane when it rots. So it's understood from that all compostable waste should be composted. This includes peels, seeds, grass, and withered flowers. Plant new trees. 2,400 trees are cut down each minute. So we need all our efforts to conserve trees. Converting to a plant-based diet can reduce impacts on a huge scale. We need to reduce methane levels and conserve water by taking this step. Replace your current sources of food and other things with more environmentally friendly sources. Taking fewer flights is one of the fastest ways to reduce your environmental impact. Opt for buying electric vehicles instead of petrol and diesel-based vehicles. This will make a big impact. Remember the 6 R's whenever you buy a product or throw away a product. Rethink, refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and repair. Before I end the speech, I would like to say a few words. We children are the future of our beautiful Earth, and our actions will decide whether humans will remain a species on Earth or if the Earth will even be habitable. We have the power to make a change for the good and to correct our mistakes and eradicate climate change. As Jane Goodall once said, what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. So today, let us take a pledge to inculcate sustainability in our lives and try our best to save the Earth. Let us conserve the environment together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ananya. I now request Advai to please come forward, and he is going to share about his moth rearing experience.
Thank you so much. So basically, my moth rearing experience has been the best when compared to other students when I have observed. And most of the time, what we did is we were looking for caterpillars all around the school ground, which was really not the best case to look for caterpillars. So it was suggested that we look outside at the butterfly garden and just have a look at it. And guess what I got? Baby caterpillars. So now we needed some data from them. So we kept them in a breathable container, kept enough soil, and a lot of leaves. Because at this particular stage, caterpillars, after hatching from their eggs, as you know, eat their eggs and eat a lot of their leaves. After which, we just kept a lot of them and we distributed that among the students of my class and other classes too, if Aaron knows about that, because there was a photo of him. But anyways, so after this was distributed, we also had an Excel sheet that we had to go through and add our data in, which was already made. And after that, like, there wasn't anything new, but everyone came back to school after a week or so. And we all noticed that most of the caterpillars, either died, I'm sorry, but either died or went to the cocoon stage, which is really nice because most of the caterpillars went to the cocoon stage. That's a positive impact. That means that they are getting sufficient material to at least go to a more highly classified state. And they were released afterward once they turned into butterflies, but many of the cocoons fell down from the tree that were lodged in. But something we noticed is many of the cocoons that fell down were looking as if someone was digging them through the ground and putting them inside. After a ton of research, me and my classmates concluded that these were moths and not butterflies. Moths basically have a tendency to dig inside the ground and make their cocoon in there. Instead of butterflies that just hang their cocoon on top of a tree branch or something. So most of them were butterflies, so we had to leave them out in the wild because, well, you can't work with butterflies when it's a moth rearing competition. And we focused more on moths, after which we went from the moths and we kept some of them at the cocoon stage, kept them in a warm environment, and went out and brought some more moths, to be honest. And we followed this stage for approximately 2 weeks, after which we could see changes in the moths' behavior, in their eating patterns. And as they turned into moths, we did click some pictures and had to edit our Excel sheet because at that point of time, it was still stuck on week 1, whereas we had to upgrade to week 2. And with this, I would also like to add some main points that could and will affect climate change. So first of all, it's a question to everyone. Is it like climate change is called climate change, global warming, or a global climate crisis? I'll take that. Anyways, each of these terms refer to the same thing, the fact that the average temperature of Earth's atmosphere is rising. As the temperature rises, various impacts change the aspects of our climate, which we may conclude as hotter summers, rising ocean temperatures, melting polar ice, increased storm activity, and etc. These go beyond mere changes in the weather, as these impacts grow in frequency and severity. They will, and in many cases already have, created crisis for people and nature around the world, as we've seen in previous presentations. If left unchecked, these impacts will spread and worsen with more animal extinctions, biodiversity loss, water shortages, and displaced communities. So whatever you choose to call it, the most important thing is we act to stop it. My second question, which may have crossed your mind a lot of times, is climate change caused by humans? And if yes, then what can we do to stop it? Well, yes, 97% of scientists agree that humans cause climate change, as humanity's accelerated burning fossil fuels and deforestation have led to rapid increases of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere and global warming. Scientists also know for centuries that gases in the Earth's atmosphere, like carbon dioxide and methane, as we saw in previous presentations, act as greenhouse gases, preventing a certain amount of heat radiation from escaping back to space, which is not good. The more carbon dioxide is there in the atmosphere, the warmer it gets. Over Earth's history, carbon dioxide levels fluctuate due to volcanic activity or the carbon cycle. However, the rise in temperature and carbon dioxide levels we've seen in the past century are extreme and accelerating. The rate of carbon emissions are the highest they've been in 66 million years, and the amount of warming in the coming decades is expected to be 250 times greater than the average warming during the past century. This conjecture also took place during the COVID-19 lockdown protocol, in which scientists observed and proved that Earth, after not a lot of people, to be honest, using carbon emissions, Earth started to heal itself. And the ozone layer, as we saw, just went back and started regenerating itself, after which the COVID-19 protocol was called down, and it resulted in our Earth getting warmer and worse by the minute. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Advai. So, I would now like to present a video about the Amalgam Film Festival that was conducted in our school. And this also has the compilation of all the activities that we have been doing throughout the year. If you all can please let me know if you can see the screen.
Can.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
It's
Yes, okay,
visible, ma'am.
thank you.
Ma'am, there's no audio to it?
Yes, there is audio, ma'am. You cannot hear the audio?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay, just a minute, ma'am. I'll try resharing.
It's still not audible, ma'am.
It's not audible, ma'am?
Not yet, ma'am.
I think that's okay. Then that's fine. We can still watch the video, ma'am. Not an
Sure.
issue. Okay, thank you. So, yes, that was a presentation from SM Shetty International School. And as this year is the 25th year of a school, it is the silver jubilee of a school. So, we have been trying our best to work towards the environment and towards sustainability. Thank you so much. I would now request the school from Mexico to please come forward and present their presentation, please. Do we have the school from Mexico? Hitali, are you there?
Mahek ma'am, whose turn?
Yes, ma'am. So it is the turn of the Mexican school, right? School from Mexico, right?
Someone there from Mexican school?
Yes, I think I can
Good
see.
morning. Welcome. We are the school Octavio Paz Lozano, and we come to present or propose an experience in this project.
Maria ma'am, can you take it further? Would you be presenting Maria ma'am and team? Miss Mercado, are you from the same school? Can you unmute? Miss Mercado, can you unmute? Mercado ma'am, are you from Mexican school? Maria ma'am, Mercado ma'am, please respond. Right, ma'am. I think we can proceed with the question answer session. Poonam ma'am, are you there? Akshita ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Then can we please declare the forum open, ma'am. So then we
हाँ
can
जी.
come forward with our questions.
So school number
Yes,
1.
actually, yeah, actually, we can start with the questions, please.
हाँ जी. Because they are not
Yeah,
responding, Poonam ma'am.
yeah. Maybe the mic problem is there something.
हाँ जी. Okay, we can start, Komal ma'am. Bluebells, please come forward. And the first question can be put up to the
Yeah.
audience.
Right, ma'am, we
Meenakshi ma'am,
have Rania from Bluebells
excuse me,
Public School.
excuse me,
Yes, ma'am.
dear.
Yes, Poonam ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. So sorry.
Meenakshi ma'am, actually,
They are
CRS
present.
school is waiting. So we are having three questions from them. So we'll just ask because they are in the school only and dispersal, they are waiting for the dispersal.
Ma'am, even
Yeah.
Mercado ma'am has started the presentation. She's
OMG.
sharing the screen. So let her
Okay, no
present.
problem. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Mercado ma'am, please share the sound also.
Or else, if you all can explain the presentation, please do that. Okay, Miss Marketo, do you have the link of the presentation, whatever you have given, so that you can share it in the group and later on we can go through with the sound?
Poonam ma'am,
Please answer in the chat box.
Poonam ma'am, let's move on to question answer session.
Yeah,
They
sure,
will
ma'am. Sure, we should. Yeah, we should.
write in the chat box. I think she'll be able to read English because the entire presentation was also not in English. So maybe they
Yeah,
are not
perfect.
able to understand what we are saying.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go ahead.
Hanji,
Meg,
SM
ma'am, questions
Shetty?
from.
SM Shetty
Yeah,
is
no.
ready with the questions.
Meg, ma'am, we will go with our SRS school first.
Sure, ma'am. SR School, can you please have your forward?
Okay, Meg, ma'am, the three questions which I have sent you, you can just start with those. They are from SRS school only. As we all know that the dispersal is going to happen from the school, so it is too late for them. They are just, boarding the bus.
Okay, so they from their end we had these three questions. I would like to open these questions to the other schools. The first question was, any other applications of coconut husk towards climate mitigation? This is what their first question was.
Hello, good morning, first of all. Can you please repeat the question?
So the question is there any other application of coconut husk towards climate mitigation?
So, the coconut husk is an initial project that tries to transmit us people as a school that every single biological material can be used in a general way. For example, this coconut husk could be used as the principal product of a campaign for the climate change. Why? Because if all of these people start like distributing these bracelets, we can start making a little change in a way that our society works. For example, we all know that jewelry is a very known way of people like of this fashion thing, and especially on women. And also we can talk about how all of the world use this, and if we can start a general way to distribute this little thing, it will turn out on a big project. So with little things we can turn out a big message, that is, every biological thing has a purpose.
I want to add something because I consider that coconut husk can be better used in the SDG responsible consumption and production because it means to reuse things in other ways. So we can, instead of throw away the coconut husk, we can also use it for other things, including survival situations or jewelry and a lot of things in general.
Okay, thank you so much. My second question from the other school was, what action plans can be taken to increase availability of fresh water to drought driven areas? Any other school can please come forward and answer to this, please.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the question once again?
Yes, I can. What action plans can be taken to increase availability of fresh water to drought driven areas?
Bringing more awareness to the governments will be like the first idea that comes to my mind, since they will be the first one to provide them with water.
Right,
Uh,
okay, thank you so much. Yes, anybody else would like to put in their inputs?
And ma'am, there's also an SDG goal of clean water and sanitization. If it will be executed very properly by the government, then the drought-prone areas will get much help from the government side also. And if the local people contribute, then it will be much better.
Okay, thank you so much for your valuable inputs. The last question coming from the school was they wanted to understand about the diet plan mentioned in one of the PPTs of one school.
Ma'am, can we be more specific of DIY plan of which school, what video it will
Ma'am, I am not sure as it is coming from the other school and they've left the meeting. So is it okay if we move on further?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, to the next school. Yes, Arin also wanted to say something. Arin, is it something that you wanted to say?
Yes, thank you for giving me the chance.
Yes.
And it's actually about the sea levels, about how rising sea levels are directly related to the emissions we produce. So we see, as Ananya Arish said, thank you for the point, Ananya. As she said, the carbon dioxide creates a blanket on the earth. With too many of those blankets, the the heat emitted by the sun, the heat radiation, it would be able to it's like a greenhouse. It'll be able to enter the earth, but it won't be able to go out. Like, like when you're in if anyone of you has been in a greenhouse, I think you must have felt uncomfortably hot in there. This is the same thing on a larger scale. And with the global temperature increasing, the glacial melting will occur. And since we legitimately have a continent which is comprised entirely, literally, I repeat, entirely of ice, imagine how much the sea levels will rise. And plus, that's not even the worst part. So as the sea level will rise, the acidity of the water will increase. So water is usually neutral. But if the sea level rises, the water will become warmer and the acidity of the water will increase. So then we might not even get safe water to drink. And so we might be confined to areas at high altitudes, while all the coastal cities like Mumbai, etc., like the place I'm sitting in right now, it would be like swallowed up by the water, and we would probably be living on the summit of Mount Everest. And so since overpopulation is also happening, we will have and we have an extremely limited amount of space. That could mean the end of us. So unless we change what we are doing, take action, and do some and reduce all of this, it's going to be the end of humanity as we know it. And worst of all, though I hate to say this is extremely plausible.
Okay, that was really good, Areen. And Meg, ma'am, we can go with the next questions, please. Um, yeah, Bluebells
Yes.
School. We can have your questions, please.
Yes, ma'am.
So the first question is, how is Paris Agreement helping tackle the problems of climate change in your state or country?
Please repeat.
How is Paris Agreement helping tackle the problem of climate change in your state or country?
We hope some of you know about Paris Agreement.
Better, ma'am, if you explain a little bit.
Glenda ma'am, your students are class 11th students, 10th students. Paris Agreement 2015. What's that all about? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Please share.
So the Paris Agreement, it's like a kind of framework providing financial, etc. support, mainly financial support to countries who need it. So, like if for like Sri Lanka's economy has completely collapsed, but they're still clinging on to life because the Paris Agreement is helping them. Sri Lanka needs a lot of money, seriously.
Okay.
The
So
economy recently collapsed.
basically, it's a legal binding, and it was an international treaty, and it was adopted by 196 parties at COP21 in Paris, and it came into force in 2016 somewhere. And the main goal is to limit global warming.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the countries who are following Paris Agreement, so we all are working, since a global warming is like 1.5 degrees Celsius, the temperature is increasing. So we have to work for that only. And it's a legal binding which is making countries work for climate change. Okay, so most of you, especially 11th class students, they might be knowing about Paris Agreement. If not, please go into the details and see what your country is doing under this Paris Agreement, if your country has signed it. So it was a landmark in our history when this Paris Agreement was done. Next question.
The second question is, how can we reduce our carbon footprints?
How can we reduce our carbon footprints? I hope most of you know what are carbon footprints. Do you know what are carbon footprints?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is a carbon footprint, beta?
Ma'am, I know what a carbon footprint is, but it seems that other people are raising their hands.
Let them also answer. You are really intelligent, Aaron.
Thank you. I used to not let everyone answer it. I was like that, but then, well,
Okay, those who are raising hand, please come up with the answers.
Ma'am, we have Glenda ma'am who's raising her hand.
Please,
Glenda
ma'am.
ma'am.
How can we reduce carbon footprints? It's actually the total amount of greenhouse gases that are being generated by our actions. So we need to control our actions. So if we'll control such actions, carbon footprints would get reduced. So what all these actions can be? An example? Yeah, please.
In my opinion, that if we actually at first are able to calculate our carbon footprints, then half of the problem is solved. We
Yes.
know where we know where we are going wrong, and we have chances to improve it. So our first step should be that we are calculating our carbon footprints.
Yes.
Further
Yes.
on, taking learning from them, we can do other things. We know where they are increasing and where to lighten them. For
Yeah.
instance, I just realized that my family was using a 3-star air conditioner, so we
Hmm.
went and upgraded it.
Yeah.
This is a good example, and it can make us realize that where exactly we are going wrong and how can we improve.
Very good. So, but how can we reduce our carbon footprints?
Please, ma'am.
But if
Ma'am, the
we
basic answer would be to reduce, recycle, and reuse.
Yes. Some of our actions, maybe not to waste electricity. Somewhere, maybe we are on renewable resources. So these would definitely reduce our carbon footprints. Anyways, next question.
Meenakshi ma'am, we have Palona ma'am who said that who's saying that how is this related subjectively to our project? Ma'am, I would like to answer, since we are practicing the 6 hours these days. This is one of the very important factor where we are trying to reduce, reuse, recycle, regenerate, and rethink. And as a result, this project is also one of them. So we are trying to correlate that we'll reduce the amount of carbon footprints per basis and per person on the per person basis, and that's how we are trying to spread more awareness amongst the student of the school.
Yeah, very right.
Yeah. I think we are ready to start doing our questions. First, we have to the CSR school,
We are left
and
with the
it's
last question.
Yeah,
excuse me.
Latika. Just beta, one last question by Latika. Three questions we had, and two are already done. This is the third one.
Nivea,
The
if you could
last
please ask
question
the
is,
question, Vita.
so the last question is, how do you encourage your school or stakeholders to handle climate change?
Anyone? As a responsible citizen of your country, as a responsible student of your school, what are the best practices being done by you for climate change? Aaron, what is your school doing?
My school has been. I'm not exactly like a member of Team Green, but I've been involved in some activities. I'm not exactly an official member of Team Green, but I know that we have been doing a lot, like the Matric competition, and the school garden was actually a good place to look.
Yeah, maybe plantation
Well,
drive.
we were,
Maybe
yeah,
plantation drive.
yeah, we have like a garden. We have a wall garden, so we'll have the same efficiency or possibly even higher efficiency, and we use less space because we're not using the space horizontally. We cheated this, not exactly cheat the system, but then it was permitted anyway, but we used vertical space. It
Yeah,
would occupy less surface area, and so in the end we'd be saving more space. And
very.
plus, the we were looking for caterpillars of the lily moth species, or rather Polytella gloriose to be specific. That's the scientific name. And those caterpillars, I like the look. They're like cool. And when they turn into a moth, the cocoons are like brown and hard, or sometimes reddish, and they are rather hard. And then when they emerge as a moth, you will know that you succeeded.
Great, Aaron.
And then once it's turned into a moth, well, I met Neil God's moth personally, and then along with a few students from my class and Josefa ma'am, who is currently here. And before I continue, a shout out to Josefa ma'am for all that she has contributed. She was a major factor in this. Yup. So then we set the moth free, and we had to teach it to fly, like prodding it under the wing with a lily leaf, and then it flew straight at my eye,
My God.
and then it perched itself on the vertical garden on the top of it.
Great. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Can we move on, Glenda ma'am, to your team? So composting drive, Ananya has written, yeah, that's part of this. In schools, we do have compost pits and all. Glenda,
Yeah.
pass on to you.
Yep. We also want to answer your question because here in Ecuador, principally in Guayaquil, over the past years, there has been a big deforestation. Colegio Javier has started a campaign these past few years, um, For today, we have planted already over 500 trees in all of these in all this area, and I think that is a great way to contribute to prevent all this global warming and climate change. Because if you remember, trees are one of the most important part in the world, and there's are considered the like the way of why we breathe. And I think it's a excellent contribution to also all of your starting projects. And I think if we can still more talk about this, we can connect different points. And yeah, that is all.
Thank you, Beta. God bless you. It's your turn for the question.
Yeah. So for the first question to the CSR school, we have, how does the Mandeon cyclone is related to the consequences of the climate change, and how did it affect you personally as a school?
Okay, CRS school is not there with us now, and they have left for the day as they had to reach home also. So, yeah. So this question we will just forward it to them, and they will reply us in the group, right? So please type in this question in the chat box, and we will forward them.
Can we please have the next question?
Okay, Miss Savitha, 1 minute. Miss Savitha has joined. Miss Savitha, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, ma'am. Can you come again, ma'am?
Yeah, please. Say the question again, please. Torres school. Torres, Miss Torres, please.
Yep. So the question was, how does the Mandeon cyclone is related to the consequences of the climate change, and how did it affect you personally as a school?
Yeah, actually, the cyclone effects are growing nowadays. We can see more of this kind of devastations occurring very frequently, especially in India, especially along the coastal regions of India. So mostly it's because of the rising temperature and other climatic changes that has influenced this kind of cyclones. So this Mandas was a recent one. So that's the update that we have. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much for your answer. The next question is for the Blue Bells School, I think, and it's, you as a student, how would you raise awareness of the problematic in your country?
So I'd like to add that, like, for this question, our school, it hosted a drive, I'd say, to like a recycling drive. Basically, the waste was collected by many of the students, including me, myself, and is being used to make various furniture items for the lesser privileged schools or areas. So I think this was a very good idea for the question that you had asked.
Basically, we are on recycling. That is more important presently. So the entire waste, and it was a huge waste that got collected. Most of PET bottles and newspapers, magazines, and they'll be making plastic furniture out of it, a recycled furniture out of it, which we will be donating to maybe less privileged children or the schools where furniture is not there. So we would be donating to them. So it's still ongoing process. We are into it for
It
future
had
also.
it had points on it to motivate the students to give out more and more ways, so that that organization we are working with, they can recycle more, and less of the waste it can go to the landfills.
Yeah. So this ways, I mean, the waste which can go to landfills, that is being reduced. We can't say it's zero, but at least an effort from our side to reduce. So that is landfill waste would be reduced, and something is coming out of it, which can be used by someone who is not able to otherwise buy. So that is the motive. So we always believe in caring is sharing, and of course sharing is caring. Yes, beta. Any other question from your side for us?
Yeah, and this is a general question, and I'm asking that have you ever heard about the SDGs? And if you heard about it, which one do you recognize in your daily actions?
Are you asking us, Bluebells?
Yeah, it's a question for everyone. If it's like open to ask.
So, as Bluebellians, I mean, Sharanya, you can answer what all SDGs we are covering, rather all 17 SDGs which are there by UN.
Yes, ma'am. So I'd like to say that our school is trying to uh, like, uh, how do I explain, ma'am? Our school is trying to use reuse, recycle, and reduce as much as possible. It is taking many initiatives as well, and like I said before, it has hosted many drives as well. So, I'd say that our school was using the SDG 3, I think. Um, I'm not really sure of that, ma'am. I think I can pass the question. You can pass the question on to somebody else. Sorry.
Okay, no problem, beta. So, beta, it's life underwater if we see. So, our students they could design a gadget. It was I mean, one of the projects under design thinking, a gadget which can tell us about the oil spills at a at particular place. So, a
Mom,
gadget is being designed,
there's
and
one thing like I wanted to share. We also did an I think activity related to SDG 3. I think it was zero hunger. Like
yes.
whatever the leftover items we had on each day from Monday to Sunday, what we can make like what different things we can make out of that remain leftovers we had.
So no poverty and zero hunger.
And
Yes,
We are
ma'am.
working on that also,
and
and
alongside,
a lot of
may I add a
donations.
point?
Yes, beta.
Alongside, we had also worked on Life Wonderland. In the
Yes.
robotics club, we had
Life
like
on land.
programmed robots to be able to successfully segregate waste and put them in their correct corners. And also, there were also a model designing competition which I won, which also motivated us to make things that solve the problems and design models that could successfully incorporate the SDG goal.
Very nice.
Also, ma'am, if I would like to add from SM Shetty School. So, on behalf of our school, as a part of being a plan of the SDG, we are trying the SDG number 7, that is affordable and clean energy, where we have solar panels installed, okay, which makes it the clean energy, right? Then, of course, there's a lot that is going on in the school regarding the collection of the MLPs, from which we have made the eco bricks, okay. Along with that, we have our garden in the school, where we are using the fertilizers which are made in the school itself. Every day in our school we have this fruit break for the lower classes, where if they are bringing the banana peels, they are put together, okay, and a banana fertilizer is created in the school itself, and then later on it is taken on to the garden. So these are little things how our children are getting into understanding what climate action is, and how can we take certain steps to make this world a better place for the future generation to live with. Yes, thank you.
Yes, even I would like to add on to Miss Mehak's, reply. We have also adopted a school wherein we are, helping them with all the stationaries and all. Actually, donation drive. It is all about donation drive, and plus a meal is provided by us. So yes, that is a good thing which is going on in our school. Yeah, apart from these things, many things are there more. But now to list is the end of the list, I guess. Yeah,
I think we all should join hands and work for SDGs more and more, so that we reach our goal.
true.
So maybe industry innovation, that is always a part of school curriculum rather nowadays, and maybe smart home for elderlies. these things are being designed so that they are safe. So smart pet home, smart home for elderlies, these things are being designed. Robots are being designed to do like Mehak ma'am just shared. So these are all part of our curriculum. Maybe some of them, some of the students, they are part of design thinking club. So they keep on doing these things. And yes, they are the future of our country, of course, of our school, but yes, of India. So, Glenda ma'am's team, any questions still with you?
Uh, Hello. No, basically those were the three questions that the students have. But I would also like to add that one of the reasons why we are working with SDG 12 is because we want to raise awareness in our students. Like all of you are talking about climate change, but before taking action into climate change, we should be aware. So empowering the students to be aware that there is a problem, then by empowering them, we are creating the solution for the future. Thank you.
So true, ma'am. Thank you. Poonam ma'am, you have raised hand.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to say, so should we conclude for the meet today?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much. We were
Yeah.
all together since Poonam ma'am did a lot of efforts. Thanks to you and your team.
Thank you, ma'am. And you all came, and that is really great. We all are together.
Yeah,
That's
we
really
will
awesome.
keep on meeting. Thank you, Glenda ma'am's team and Poonam ma'am, your team, and all others,
Yeah.
those who are part of
And
today.
yeah, and also CPS, sorry.
Poonam
Yes.
ma'am,
Yeah.
can we see if Hitali has any questions? Hitali, are you there with us?
Okay, yeah. Our three questions are remaining, I guess, but then let us see.
Yes. Hitali? Or else,
Ma'am,
yes.
I had a question for the Mexican school.
Say better.
Yeah. So, as you all know, Mexico is the second largest greenhouse gas emitter in Latin America and Caribbean region. In fact, Mexico has been notoriously known as one of the world's worst air pollution problems. Even children in grade school color the sky with brown and yellow crayons instead of blue. So, considering these facts and harsh reality, how does the youth of Mexico plan to tackle the situation and somehow work towards the betterment of their country itself?
Please answer, Mexican school.
I think they have left.
I guess she's typing the answer. Okay.
Mercado ma'am says, listen to me. So let's listen to her. Please, ma'am, speak out. Mercado ma'am, please speak out. Poonam ma'am, I think we can conclude because
Yeah. Do they have something seriously, or the sound system is not working?
maybe, ma'am.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so from, yeah.
rest of the things can be shared in the group itself. We are all there. The principal problem in Mexico is the trash. This is what ma'am wants to say.
Okay.
So, ma'am,
Okay.
trash is the problem, I think, across the world, across the globe, and we have to work for it.
I quite
Yeah.
agree with that one.
Yes.
Okay, from our end, SMCT, Areen and Ananya, do you have any question to ask, please?
No, I do not have a question, but I do have something to say about Mumbai. So in Mumbai, the air quality index has been getting very poor.
Oh my God.
Or like the last few weeks when I've been checking, it said poor, unhealthy, results like that.
Same here in Delhi NCR, beta. It's the same. Rather, it's
Delhi is
very,
worse.
it's very poor. Not only poor,
De-
it's very poor.
And
Delhi and Mumbai is competing.
Yeah. So, I mean, competition
Bangladesh currently has the worst.
worst. So
Even
let's work
on like
upon that only. That will
even on
do
like
it.
Diwali, they stop burning the crackers before 11 p.m. But still, like the AQI, it's like
Yeah.
Uh,
deteriorating.
I often like hear the sounds of crackers still being burst, even if it is like December is going on right now, and Diwali has it has been a long time since
October.
Diwali has gone.
That is with a Indian culture,
Culture,
tradition,
yes, ma'am.
customs. Whenever marriages are there, so it is a marriage season which is going on, and people burst crackers that time also.
Yes, ma'am.
Not a good
Excuse me.
practice. A lot of pollution is already there, and we are adding it. But
Yes, ma'am.
yes, we
Quite
need
agree
to
to that.
be. We have to sensitize people around us for this only.
We need to educate more and more people
Yes.
about this
Ma'am,
Spread
problem.
more awareness.
Yeah.
yep. Speaking of the air quality index, I just did a bit of research, and the world record is Lahore, Pakistan, 465, and that is very bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Ananya has raised her hand. Ananya, please, last question, and then we will start with our um, anthem. Okay, the song
Yeah.
which we have.
Um, my question is, have you ever directly experienced like climate change? Um, like for example, one day I was traveling to Pune, and I saw the fog in the morning, smog in the morning, and I could see the effects of pollution and climate change. Like that, I would ask everybody if you have had any experience.
Yes, I kind of had
Yeah, me
because
too. In the ground in the morning in martial arts period, I have it on Wednesday. In the morning, it was extremely foggy. It was extremely like with smog and everything.
I usually go to the morning games held in my school around 6:50 a.m. and it was like one day when the same day we had a games period and it was like after 10 a.m. maybe and the fog was like it was still there. It was not like less or it was quite heavy.
I remember that
I mean,
it was 2018, I think, and it was like I had to go to Mumbai with along with my siblings and my parents, and my brother. We were in Delhi at that time, and my brother had a huge amount of congestion that time. He was coughing continuously, but the very day we went to Mumbai, his cough was entirely gone, and I remember my mom saying that Mumbai has a better air quality than Delhi here. And I also noticed that like there was this one time in school, we had our sports club, I think, and it was all foggy when we went there. Later on, we had a sports arrangement, and it was nearly after 10 or 11, and it was still foggy, and I was actually very, very shocked upon that.
I mean, I also have an experience to share. During a Diwali festival, like crackers are burnt, I went to another state in like Uttar Pradesh, and there, of course, pollution was there. But as my car was riding from UP to Delhi, I could notice a smooth transition. The air went from grey to utterly black. You couldn't even see the car that was like 2 meters ahead of you, and we almost had an accident. We had to keep the windows closed all of the time, otherwise, I have traces of asthma, and I would start coughing repeatedly.
I also experienced this like one time, and I went to Delhi, and it was so fog all around, and in summers I went there. It was that much fog that on the roads when like we were driving, so we could not see like vehicles that were a little bit far, and we had to literally turn on the flashlight like in the afternoon.
Okay, thank you. It was nice to hear all of your experiences.
Okay, thank you so much, children. So, SM Shetty School has, come up with the climate action anthem. We would just like to present it at the end to you all. Josefa ma'am, if you are ready, we can please play it.
पूजते थे जो धरती आसमां को, खो गए हैं जाने लोग कहाँ वो। थी हरियाली रहती जहाँ, रहता हर जीव वहाँ, क्या देख पाएंगे फिर से आसमां वो। था आसमां के नीचे एक जहाँ भी, बसती थी रंग बिरंगी सी दुनिया थी। ना जाने क्यों वो खो गया, ना जाने क्या ये हो गया। है आदमी तू अपनी आंख मूंद के क्यों सो गया। जागेंगे जगाएंगे, ढूंढ के वो जहां हम लाएंगे। जागेंगे जगाएंगे, ढूंढ के वो जहां हम लाएंगे। करते हैं हम ये वादा, है पक्का ये इरादा, रखे आस पास की सफाई। क्या एक पेड़ लगाना है ज्यादा, हाँ हमारी तरह ही तो ये पेड़ पक्षी और प्राणी। बरसेगा धरती का कहर जो बात हमने न मानी। जागेंगे जगाएंगे, ढूंढ के वो जहां हम लाएंगे। जागेंगे जगाएंगे, ढूंढ के वो जहां हम लाएंगे। क्यों स्यासी है काली ये नदियां, कहाँ खो गए वो परिंदों की दुनिया। क्यों बीमारी मौत बनकर है आई, क्या रोक पाएंगे हम ये तबाही। क्यों स्यासी है काली ये नदियां, कहाँ खो गए वो परिंदों की दुनिया। क्यों बीमारी मौत बनकर है आई, क्या रोक पाएंगे हमें तबाही। है आ गया समय तुम जाग जाओ, बिखरे इस अंधकार को तुम हटाओ। उन रंगों को फिर से तुम सजाओ, जो तुम्हारी जिम्मेदारी है उसे तुम भी निभाओ। जागेंगे जगाएंगे, ढूंढ के वो जहां हम लाएंगे। जागेंगे जगाएंगे, ढूंढ के वो जहां हम लाएंगे। जागेंगे जगाएंगे, ढूंढ के वो जहां हम लाएंगे। ढूंढ के वो जहां हम लाएंगे।
So, this was a song that was composed by our very own music teacher, Mr. Vikas Sharma.
Amazing, ma'am. Really great.
So, I would like to extend a warm thank you to all the schools who participated here in this collaboration today. It was lovely meeting the educators from across India and the globe as well. And I am sure our children are the future of tomorrow, and they are going to take this responsibility and move ahead very wisely. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Mahak, ma'am. Thanks a lot. We'll meet soon.
Definitely.
Bye, children. Bye, all the teachers.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you and greetings of the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome and thank you for organizing this meeting. Bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Thank you, students. Students were extremely good.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am, for these opportunities. Thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
Glenda ma'am. Team, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Poonam ma'am, for the great initiative, ma'am.
Thank you, Savitha ma'am.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for waiting so long.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
I hope
Actually,
that,
students couldn't stay after a long time. Like the parents had
yeah.
started coming to school. Yeah.
We
So
can
they
Okay.
had to leave
understand.
the meeting and then rejoin. And
Fine. So nice
anyway,
of
we
you.
have
Thank you
done some
so much.
recording, screen recording. Thank you all.
Wow,
Thank you
that's
all, ma'am.
great. You have the recording.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
You
Yeah,
will be able to
ma'am.
share it in the group then.
I'll try, ma'am. I'll try, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Sure,
So
ma'am. I'll
nice of
try.
you. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye.